Brought to you by Podcast City Network.
It is time to play.
You're listening to The Everett Lee Show. Let's go! A shot of entertainment to the head.
No doubt.
So sit back, relax,
Put your drinks up.
and enjoy the entertainment.
Okay. Now we come to the payoff. Let's rock.
Welcome, everyone, to the Everett Lee Show podcast. I'm Everett Lee. Quick shout out to all my followers on Twitter. You can follow me at the Everett_Lee, Facebook.com/Everett Lee. Click that thumbs up, and of course, PodcastCity.net, the official host of the Everett Lee Show. Welcome to this Thursday's edition of the In-Ring Report. We're going to be talking about the fallout with NXT Takeover Chicago 2 and Money in the Bank, WWE Money in the Bank 2018 pay-per-view. And before we get to any of that, I want to give a quick shout out to the sponsors of the network. Sports Sanity. Head over to sportsanity.com for your latest apparel from Podcast City Network. Hit up sportsanity.com and let them know that Podcast City Network sent you and you want your Podcast City Network t-shirt. City Limits Tap Room in DeLand, Florida. Head over to City Limits Tap Room in DeLand for indoor and outdoor entertainment with TV entertainment, outdoor TV entertainment, and stage in the back, bonfire, horseshoes, pool tables, dartboards, and much, much more at City Limits Tap Room in DeLand, Florida. They're the official host of Draft Day, brought to you by the Podcast City Network. Atlantic Sounds off of International Boulevard in Daytona Beach. If you're looking for that vinyl record or that CD or that cassette tape that's gotten away from you, head over to Atlantic Sounds. Hit them up on Facebook, on their Facebook page, facebook.com/Atlantic Sound Records. And hit them up and see if you could find that collectible vinyl, CD, or cassette and memorabilia of music and artists at Atlantic Sounds. And of course, Telltale Travel. Hit up Brittany Imler for that destination you want to book to get away, just to get away from it all. Head over to podcastcity.net, hit up the sponsor page, and click on the icon, the Telltale Travel icon, and book your vacation with her today. And of course, this is all brought to you by Podcast City Network over on podcastcity.net, official website. Hit Podcast City up on Facebook, facebook.com/Podcast City Network. Hit that thumbs up and send a tweet to Podcast City Network on Twitter at Podcast City Net. Let's jump into the in-ring report for this week on this Thursday.
1, 2, 3.
All right, here we are, in-ring report for this Thursday, for this week of the Everett Lee Show. NXT Takeover Chicago 2 was this weekend. And WWE Money in the Bank 2018. Therefore, on this podcast and on this episode, talk about the results of both of these pay-per-views. Would be McShaft, but McShaft is taking the week off. He's got some personal business to take care of. Joining me on the network this week is none other than so smooth, Mr. Tommy James from Second Round's Florida edition podcast.
And that's me.
That's you. That's
me.
You. So how you been, man?
Pretty good. You know, same shit, different day.
Yeah. Looks like you've been busy here lately with second rounds.
Yeah, man, we're getting ready for another Who You Got challenge for MegaCon Tampa. We decided we're going to go to MegaCon Tampa. So right now we're working on our draft. We already did the first half, and then in a couple days we're probably going to do the second part. And yeah, I got some good characters so far. I actually got Brock Lesnar. I got the champ.
Hell yeah. Gonna take the competition to Suplex City, man?
I plan to. It depends on, you know, who he faces in that sense. I'm hoping that I get a good matchup, and I got some good characters. You know, I got Zach Morris from Saved by the Bell, so I'm pretty happy about that. We can see where that goes.
Can't go wrong with that, man. You definitely can't go wrong with that. One thing we can't go wrong with is talking about NXT Takeover Chicago, man. That was
it was good, man. It was good.
Pay-per-view that we had, man. Was it not?
Christian decided he wanted to pop his head in.
What's up, man?
He got excited that he heard wrestling, he heard NXT.
That's always a good thing, man. That's definitely always a good thing.
Yeah, he was watching it a little bit with me. He was really excited when he saw Adam Cole. He's a big Adam Cole fan.
Oh yeah?
He's doing it right now. He's actually putting his hands up and doing the Adam Cole, baby.
Adam Cole, baby.
Yeah. But I liked NXT, man. Again, I will say it steals the weekend, as always. It did. It was some good. I think out of that whole card, I'd say there was probably one shit match. That's about it.
Yeah.
About it.
Yeah. It definitely was, and I know which one you're talking about. I definitely do.
Yeah.
I definitely do. And this pay-per-view started off, and the way we read it on the prediction show, it was totally different from what we expected, because the show kicked off with the NXT Tag Team title match. You had Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan versus Roderick Strong, Kyle O'Reilly of the Undisputed Era.
Yes.
Tell me, was that crowd not hot for Undisputed Era?
How can you not be? That crowd loved them some Undisputed Era. They went ballistic. It was nice to see, actually, the way that crowd. I mean, Chicago knows wrestling, man. You know, the Chicago, L.A., New York. I mean, I've seen even in Florida, like they know wrestling, man, and they got so pumped. And I got pumped, you know. Once you just hear "shock the system," you're like, "Oh, we're gonna fucking get going." You know. I mean, again, you got three phenomenal wrestlers in this. Adam Cole was there; he was outside of the ring, but
right.
You know, he's still a man. I mean, Kyle O'Reilly, he's a fucking man. You know, Red Dragon, and Roderick Strong, that's Mr. ROH. So we knew a good match was coming. And I'm going to tell you, man, Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan, whatever he calls himself, they surprised the shit out of me. I did not think it was going to be as good as it was.
Yeah. I didn't either, man. I did not think it was going to be that great, man, because with Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan, they pulled out some spots, man, especially the one spot when you had when Oney Lorcan had, I think it was Kyle or Roderick and the one half crab, and he's getting punched in the face, and he's just taking it, man, like a beast.
Yeah, I loved it. It was great. I mean, the spots were like spot on. I mean, when he did the flip and he landed, we were talking about it actually too.
Yeah.
When it happened, when he hit his back on the freaking apron, and you're just sitting there, and you're like, I'm not sure if that was supposed to happen, if he was supposed to just flip over and just land on the outside. And to the point, like, I was like, that was fucking awesome.
It was, man. It was, yeah. You're like, oh, damn. Because I told you, I was like, dude, is he out? It's like, is Oney Lorcan out? But no, he came back and he showed he was a beast, and the crowd got behind these guys finally towards the end of the match. But
yeah, that one part when like all four guys are just staring at each other and they just start fucking fucking pounding each other, and the crowd is fucking going nuts. And I'm sitting there watching on my couch going, yeah, here we go. Like, go get them. Like, it was a good, well, not a good, it was a great way to start off the fucking pay-per-view. And the right people won. You know, that's what it is. The right guys won. I don't know if you know, but, you know, something did happen recently with Undisputed Era. I mean, I'm not going to throw any spoilers out there, but something happened, and I'm not too thrilled about it, but, you know, we'll see what happens as time goes on.
Yeah.
With that situation.
Yeah, we definitely will. And of course, you called it, and I think McShaft called it, and I called it. Undisputed won and retained the tag team titles.
Yeah, it only made sense.
It did. I mean, you know, Birch and Lorgan, they basically showed that they could be a one hell of a tag team, and they showed they were hungry, but it wasn't their time now. It just
Not
wasn't.
at all.
Nope.
They got a long way to go, I think, as a tag team, because there's so many really good tag teams out there in general. Like, NXT has really good tag teams. You know, as we mentioned last time, the War Raiders. You know, those are the guys. You know, Mustache Mountain. You know, these are good guys, and I don't see them probably ever winning the titles, but they impressed the shit out of me. Yeah. Like, I was sitting there like, I mean, I still not a huge fan of them, but watching that match, I was like, yeah, this was fucking awesome. This was a great match. And you already know Strong and O'Reilly can put on top matches. So these guys surprised the hell out of me, and I loved it. I thought it was great. The near falls were fucking awesome. Adam Cole gets involved, and they throw him out, and you're just like, hey, fucking no. And the crowd lost it. They were like, no, why would you throw Adam Cole out?
Yeah.
So it made me laugh, because I wanted to see more of Cole, because obviously, you know, he didn't end up fighting.
Right. Yeah, he didn't. He didn't defend like we thought he was. He did not defend the North American Championship against UK champion Pete Dunne. So we know Pete Dunne right now is busy in the UK doing the tapings of the UK tournament.
Yeah.
You know, so
which Adam Cole is at, and as is the Undisputed Era. So that's I think next week, or is it this weekend?
Yeah, I think it's this weekend coming up. Yeah, we'll get to see the results of it and stuff. A lot of stuff I haven't got on to look, because a lot of stuff's been leaked out about the advancements in the tournament. But I made sure I haven't read, because I want to sit back and watch it and be surprised like I was last year. But
yeah, I fucked up, and I seen what happened at one of the matches.
Oh, damn.
Fucked up. It was like I got tricked, you know, because I follow these these wrestling guys that are from Brooklyn. They have their own like page about wrestling. And it's like, that's why, like, if I don't watch Raw or SmackDown, I always tune in on there. They usually have little videos, or they just at least give you an update of what's going on.
Right.
They leaked a video of what happens, and I was like, no. Like, I was pissed, because it's like I wanted to watch it, but in the long run, I didn't like the result either. So but then again, it's all speculation that things might change. It might just be because it's in the UK, but when you watch it, you'll understand what I mean. Yeah,
definitely. On the second match on the card, we ended up with Ricochet versus the Velveteen Dream. We talked about this, man. Damn.
Can we start off by saying, how amazing was it that the Velveteen Dream came out wearing Prince Puma pants?
Yes.
He was wearing Prince Puma pants. It was fucking awesome. I love it, because when he first came out, I'm watching it, and I'm like, why do those pants look familiar? And then I guess, you know, when the camera got a little close, I was like, that's Prince Puma pants. I was like, fucking awesome. Yes. That was so great.
That was.
See that. So funny.
That was great that he pulled those out, you know, and he wore that. And then, of course, Ricochet looked great, as always, coming to the ring. Yeah. And then we've seen them start up with some basic lockup, you know, just doing that, and then they just started getting into the momentum of it. There were spots here, there were spots there that made you go, wow, you know, high-flying spots, which we talked about, which happened, you know? Yeah.
We expected the high-flying spots that these guys could bring.
Mm-hmm.
And it, like I said when we spoke about it, it's going to be a clinic, and it was a clinic.
Yes.
It was such a really good match. Both guys, they both did phenomenal.
They did.
Phenomenal.
They did. I love the spot when Velveteen took Ricochet up on the top second turnbuckle and did the Death Valley driver off of it. Oh, God,
Yeah.
that was
dope.
That was.
He's really talented. That guy is really, really talented.
He is.
But I just can't get over Ricochet's finisher.
I know.
I forgot what is it, 640, 620, or whatever he does. It's just watching it, just boom, and you're just like, woo.
I know. And then Velveteen freaking leaped across the freaking ring and did the elbow drop right on Ricochet. And then Ricochet they did each other's finisher. I thought was pretty neat, man. You know, it's like, I can't beat you, I'll use your own finisher, because that's more embarrassing to get beat by your own finisher. And I figured that was going to go down, but it didn't. But yeah, like you said, man, with the last part, the 540 or the 920, splash on his back, and then he rolled him over 1, 2, 3.
It was beautiful. It was such a good match, and obviously Ricochet winning. We all said that Ricochet would pull it out, because Velveteen really doesn't get those big matches. I know McShaft said, he's a guy that you don't need to get big wins, which is actually true, because he's over. So it's like it's one of those guys where, he always kind of loses in the takeover situations.
Right.
But I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want to see him win a little bit, because he's falling into the Tyler Breeze moment. When Tyler Breeze was there, he was always losing the big matches, and now look at him. He's fucking doing nothing.
Doing nothing with Fandango.
It's you do so much better. You're actually talented, and I hope the Velveteen Dream doesn't fall in that category where, eventually he's going to be hanging out with the APA MVP playing cards with Ron Killings, in another fucking Raw special, and it's just kind of sad that it might go that way. Give the guy a couple of wins at least.
Yeah. Give him a couple wins, because this guy's so over, and it's just ridiculous, But he plays a good heel, but he's over, man. Give him a couple wins. I totally agree with you with that. Right there. Now we move on to the match you were talking about earlier, which you didn't think that was great. I didn't really think it was that great. Was the NXT Women's Title match. We had Nikki Cross versus Shayna Baszler. Where the hell do we start with this one, man?
Well, we can start with Shayna Baszler's 4 moves. She likes to punch you, she likes to elbow you, she likes to kick you, and then she likes to choke you. That's it. That's all she did.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah. I fucking hate it. I watch it, and I know people shit on, John Cena is the 5 moves of death. And I'm watching this match, and Nikki Cross is doing all the work, obviously.
Yeah, she carried the match.
Yeah, she's talented, and Shayna Baszler, I've been saying, she's really not that good. Her promo skills are fucking horrible. But this match really proved that she cannot hold her own in a match, and she needs to. They got to take that title off of her. I just don't see her as a champ. I get it, because she beats people up, and Vince and Trips, they all like the people that beat people. He beats people up, so we're gonna give them the belt. But in the long run, it's how about a little bit more talent? And 4 moves in a match, to me, just isn't worth it. There's better shit out there. Ronda Rousey does more than she does.
Yeah. Definitely. It's like when Nikki, she was running at Baszler and had her in the ropes and stuff. When they were going in and out of the ring right there on the apron and ropes and stuff, that's territory Nikki uses and stuff, and it did mess Baszler up. She had her stumbling, had her footing off and stuff, and when she did that, Nikki just went in though. But when she went in for the cover, Baszler would kick out. Nikki threw stuff at her, and she'd kick out, and then finally we've seen what happened, man. She got choked
She passed
out.
out. She didn't tap, which is great. They should have. She should have won, in my opinion, because I know I did pick that she would win.
Yes.
But I like the fact that she didn't tap. It just shows like that she is a psycho badass, and eventually we will see this feud again, and she probably will take the belt from her.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so there is a light at the end of the tunnel. But it's good they made her look strong, because if she would have did all that and then would have tapped, it would have been like, what's the point of doing this? You made her look like she can do shit and then make her tap from miss 4 moves. Maybe we should just call her fucking the 4 move of doom.
Let me throw this in there for that.
Damn. No, yeah. True. Fucking 4 moves. At least if she did 8 moves, we could actually call her the Octagon. But she doesn't do 8 moves.
Yeah, that's true, man. That is. Now we move on to the NXT Championship match. We had Lars Sullivan challenging Aleister Black.
Yeah.
Now, Lars was dominant, but Aleister actually gave him a run for his money, man. He did. Mm-hmm. He definitely did, man. Lars, the big guy, he did get the big guy down, and he did give him a run for his money. And it was a brawl. It was a brawl, was it not?
It was a fight. That's I like the way you put it. Like, it was a brawl, because that's really what it was. It was a fight. It was like a fight you see at a bar, where because they both look like guys that you meet at a bar, and they would just And Lars, I know Lars is he's a big dude. He's the Heinenreich type of guy. And he does a really good job. Like, did you catch the Black Mass miss when he missed it and then he sold it?
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? I was like, you completely missed. I was like, why are you even selling? Don't sell. I mean, that's where it is, with the rookies compared to like guys that have been around.
Right.
Like, he completely missed, and he was just like, oh shit. And I'm thinking, like, you didn't get hit. I understand you're supposed to continue the story and with the match, but if you really seriously miss, don't sell it. Yeah. It makes you look even better, where you can just like look at him and laugh and let him kick you again, like he obviously did.
Yeah.
He wasn't getting the belt. Obviously, Aleister was gonna win.
Yeah.
But for a fight, the brawl they get, it was good.
Yeah.
It wasn't great, but it was good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it definitely was, because I thought that Lars was going to get this, man, because like I talked about, I said Aleister Black is going to probably lose, and if he does lose, then he's going to end up we'll probably see him come up the main roster sooner than later, or they'll carry out the story where he tries to get the belt back, because we've seen it before in NXT where they lose the belt, they go for the rematch. They don't get the rematch. I mean, they don't win the rematch, and then sooner or later you see him show up on the main roster. Yeah. But that's not the case. It looks like Aleister's going to be hanging around for a while, and I'm just wondering who his next opponent is going to be.
That's tough. Who really could? I mean, if I have to be honest, I'd like to see the Dream go after him.
Mm-hmm. There's so many people right now.
When they had a match, that was a fucking match when those two fought each other. I would like to see those two fight again.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't see the Dream winning again, but the guy that needs to take it off him is probably Cole. But Cole got a belt right now, so it ain't going nowhere anytime soon. Yeah. Well, at least I hope.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, I'd have to say a guy like Velveteen could go after him. Maybe Ricochet could go after him, or I mean, there's so many people on the roster right now that could go after him. Even Tommaso Ciampa, he could. Probably,
I still think they're not done, but EC3 is the one sitting there talking about all this shit with the title, so he might just find himself in the picture right off the bat. I mean, he is EC3, so they may just go, "Fuck, put him up."
Yeah,
let him go against him, and in that case, I wouldn't be surprised if he took it from him, because they brought him for a reason.
Yeah, they did, and they've been building him up pretty good. EC3, man, I feel that they've built him up more than what he was in Impact when he was on there. He's more of a presence. They've rounded him out more. This run is better than what his first run was back in 2012 with NXT when he was going by a different name,
Yeah, way better.
Yeah, this is way better. He went out there and he actually went out and made a name for himself, created a persona and a character. Here at NXT, it's just turned up the volume more on the persona, on who Ethan Carter III is, It is.
And it's believable.
It is believable. It is.
He looks the part, he talks the part, and he can what is it? Talk the walk. He can walk the talk. Whatever. He can do the job.
Yes.
The man can do the job. He is. What is he? The 1%? Is that what they call him? The 1%?
Yeah. He's like He's like the 1%. Yeah.
Yeah. The 1%. Or it's great. Like I like him. I think he's really talented. I want to see where they go with him. He hasn't shown up. Well, he was in the ladder match. I know, but there's more to come with him, and it's probably going to be a belt.
Yeah, it definitely is. There definitely is. There's so much potential and so many people that can go after Aleister Black, and he's one of the names you could throw in the hat right there. Definitely can. Now we got the main event, the street fight with Tommaso Ciampa versus Johnny Gargano, Mr. Johnny Wrestling.
Johnny Wrestling.
I gotta say, I thought they were having an ECW match, man. The way this went, man, they took everything out. Okay, they took everything out, from trash cans to kendo sticks to about everything, and you thought it was, and you thought you were watching ECW. Even the crowd chanted ECW at one point, which I thought was freaking great. They did.
It was beautiful. It was so great to watch. Again, we're talking about two phenomenal athletes, two phenomenal wrestlers that can really hold a story down together, and it proved in this match. I mean, it was such great storytelling. Even just like when he put down Ciampa and they were carrying him out in the stretcher, and he's just like, "No, I'm not done yet." And he's like, no, I'm not done yet. And then you're just sitting there going, dude, you technically won the match. The man's getting taken off on the stretcher. And when he pulled the ring, when he was ripping off the freaking the tarp, I'm looking and I'm like, oh, I was watching it with Jen, and I look over, I was like, oh man, if he pulls the whole thing out, I was like, this is gonna be the greatest fucking match ever. Somebody's going through the wood. And obviously, when the little corner spot. So Jen was like, why are they just pulling the little corner? I was like, that's the finish. Like, that's where they're going to finish it off. Like, right over there. And which they did. It was a simple, and that's what I like too. It ended where it makes sense.
Yes.
It wasn't like, they utilized reality.
Yeah.
He gave him a DDT on fucking wood, like hard ass fucking lumber.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that he would be knocked out.
Yeah, it does. It does make sense, man. It does definitely make sense. And you said Tommaso was on the stretcher. Yeah, that right there. Before that, when they were up on the speakers, and when Johnny grabbed him and he went through the damn table. Holy shit, man!
So you couldn't top. Listen, the Undisputed Era and Burke and Lorcan was a great match. It really set up a bar, but you're not topping that fucking match. That match that's what I call a match. And like I said, they're not done yet, because Johnny won the first one, Ciampa won the second one. We have TakeOver in Brooklyn coming. I say I quit match, and you can finish it there. I quit, and we're done.
Yeah.
And you can have Johnny win. It only makes sense for Johnny to win the whole thing.
I gotta say, man, I definitely have to say that you called it. You definitely did. You called it. You said Tommaso's going to win. And we're like, nah, Johnny's going to win. And you're like, nah, it's not over. And you were right, man. Props to you.
I only got one wrong in NXT. We'll get into Money in the Bank. But I only got one wrong in NXT, and that was, 4 move of doom Baszler. Shithole Baszler. and a diamond. You got diamond, but you flip it upside down, it's a pussy, so it's all good. If you don't know what that's from, it's from Ready to Rumble. Everybody listening out there, if you guys remember clearly, when he was making fun of fucking DDP, he was like, hey, diamond upside down is a pussy.
Damn, I forgot about that.
Remember that movie? That movie was awesome.
I know. It's been forever since I've seen it, man. It was great. It definitely was great. It definitely was.
He was, I'm going to crown you. And he would go to the top and he would do the elbow. Crown us, king, crown us.
That was crazy. That was crazy.
That's how all right, first up before we continue, do you know how bad WCW is? That's how they turned DDP a heel. They were like, let's use him like in the movie and say he's a bad guy because of the movie. Yeah. You're like, what? And then they created a phenomenal match for the movie with that like 3 cages on top of each other. Yeah. Just to have David Arquette win the WCW heavyweight title. And now we know why they're not in business.
Yep. Yeah, he's the reason why they went out of business. He even joked about it a while back ago, talking about coming back in pro wrestling. Mm-hmm. On one of the episodes of Everett Lee Show, a few episodes back, I even mentioned that. I think it was a couple episodes back that I mentioned that David Arquette wanted to get back into wrestling. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, whatever, man. But yeah.
when they told him he was going to win, because I remember they had an interview with him, and they told him, all right, you're going to win the title. His first response was, why? Mm-hmm. I'm an actor. Yeah. I have to go do Scream 3. Why the fuck are you going to put me as a WCW champion? Yeah. And it was obviously a bomb. He's actually back in wrestling. He just recently had a match.
Oh, damn. I got to look that up.
I think he lost, but, he'll never be a champ.
Yeah. Yeah, he'll never be championship material.
Well,
now, yeah, definitely.
Remember, he is a former WCW heavyweight champion. Yeah. Me and you cannot say that we are.
Right. And an actor. You could add that on his resume there.
Yes, and
on his resume. I'm an actor.
He was married and banged Courtney Cox.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
So you gotta give him credit with that one.
Yeah. But, also you got to say they were friends first.
True. It all started on Friends. I think that's how they met, too. I'm pretty sure that's how they met. I'm pretty sure Jen would confirm that, but I think that's how they met. They met on Friends.
Yeah. Or actually, I think they met on the first Scream movie. I think.
Oh, was it the Scream movie? Because maybe you're right.
Yeah.
It was one of the two. I know because I know he shows up on Friends. I just don't remember if it was before Scream or after Scream. But you might be right. They might have met just on Scream.
Yeah.
And went from there.
Yeah.
He got a cock. That's all that matters.
Definitely. Now, on a scale with the 5 matches we had, on a scale 1 to 5, what would you rate NXT Takeover Chicago to?
4.
Give it a 4.
Because of Baszler.
Okay. Well, I was entertained, and I pretty much give it a 5 because it was everything I expected. Nothing more, nothing less out of this pay-per-view, man.
Right.
It was fantastic. It definitely was. I was satisfied. What's that?
As always.
Yeah, as always. NXT delivered. Why should I be not too unsatisfied about it? I was satisfied as always because they delivered every time with their takeover pay-per-views. And Tommy, I think this is the first NXT pay-per-view where all the titles were on the line except Adam Cole's North American Championship, that the titles did not change hands.
Yeah. No changes.
No title changes.
Nope.
No title changes.
Surprise! I was expecting at least one, which I thought was the women's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We didn't even get that, man.
No title changes. I guess they really trust them.
They carry and build that story. That's what's good about it. Continue that story. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's what I love about NXT, and that's why I keep coming back because of the stories. Because they keep wanting me to bring me back because I want to see what's going to happen next week and the next week. Then I want to see the blowout of the rivalry and the ending of it, or if it's going to continue on after a takeover. So got me. Triple
More
H.
to come. I'm excited to see what happens.
Yeah, I am too. Well, we're going to jump in talking about Money in the Bank, but before I do that, I want to mention a announcement.
Hey fans, here at Podcast City Network, we have a lot of great shows.
We have a wide variety of shows that cover the landscape in podcast, a podcast for anyone and everyone.
Such as The Chris Garnett Show,
The Everett Lee Show,
ELS Uncut,
Super Radio Brothers,
Imaginarium with Scott and Todd,
Forking Around with Cody,
The Grimlock Show,
and Films of Classic.
You can catch these and a whole bunch more only on podcastcity.net or on all of our great social media outlets.
Head over to facebook.com/Podcast City Network. Hit that thumbs up. You can send a tweet to Podcast City Network on Twitter at Podcast City Net.
So make sure that you join us for all this only on Podcast City Network. You're listening to The Everett Lee Show.
Money in the Bank 2018. 10 matches compared to what we just talked about with NXT Takeover Chicago with the 5 solid matches.
Time to double it.
Yes, time to double it. Now Money in the Bank is decided, you know what, we're going to give you 10 matches this time. Instead of 5, we're giving you 10. 10, 10, 10. Now, with this pay-per-view here, man, the first match, start off with the opening match on this pay-per-view. We had Daniel Bryan, leader of the Yes Movement, versus Big Cass.
Recently released.
Yes, recently released, man. I know. I just let's address the elephant in the room real quick. I mean, okay, let's add the elephant to the discussion with the zebra and the lion. Okay.
Let's figure out the problem.
Yeah. Okay. Big Cass came out there, and the crowd hated him. Daniel Bryan came out, as always, with a big pop. And Daniel Bryan, man, he stuck to submission-type wrestling, which he's really good at. And he grounded Big Cass. He didn't want the Giant to get up, you know? And every time he'd get him down, Big Cass find a way to get up and get back at Daniel Bryan, you know? He definitely did. And the whole story behind this match, too, was that he was going to make Big Cass tap, you know? That's what I liked about it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
any way necessary, Big Cass was going to tap. And that's what Daniel Bryan said. And honestly, that's what we all said, because I mean, we knew it was bad. I didn't know it was this bad. Like, you know, I didn't know it was you're getting fired bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we talked about on the prediction show, man, we talked about how he was in the doghouse with going in the business for himself. And I was talking to a good friend of mine who watched Money in the Bank over this past weekend, and he said that he was watching it with Hall of Famer Jimmy Hart. And Jimmy Hart even pointed out and said he noticed Big Cass didn't look too happy with his movement and stuff in the ring. He didn't look too happy. You know? Right. And looking back at it, I can agree with him, man. He didn't. Did he know that he was going to have to tap out to Daniel Bryan? You know? I mean, just...
He had to.
Yeah. I mean, he had to, but did he know...
That's probably why he was pissed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He wanted to beat him, and they're like, no. You don't go into business for yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously his tactics that he pulled, and there's obviously more backstage heat that he had, because I know he did say a lot of shit about the creative, with backstage and the writers and everything. So eventually he was going to find himself gone. I honestly did not expect it to be as quick as it was. Like when he got released, when I got the notification, I seen it, and it's like, Big Cass was released. I was like, whoa, like what did you do?
Yeah. Yeah. What?
Like Enzo got released because he had rape charges, and he was known for being an asshole backstage. So what did you do?
Yeah. Yeah. What the hell did you do?
Mm-hmm. He probably told Vince to go fuck himself. He's from Queens, you know. He probably had that New York fucking shit. He probably came in after he tapped, looked at Vince, and probably told him to go fuck off. And Vince was probably like, "Hey, God, fired," you know. And just
Yeah, let me give it. He got fired.
You got fired. You're fired. You're fired.
Yeah, he definitely did, man. He definitely did. I was shocked by it, but big cash tapped. Daniel Bryan wins. Crowd goes crazy. They were behind him, and after that, we had McShaft's favorite wrestler, Bobby Lashley versus Sami Zayn.
Is it fucked up that when Bobby Lashley came out, the first things that came to my head is everything McShaft was saying? Like, I'm just staring at, and it's fucked up because I started to dislike Bobby walking because of what McShaft was saying, and it's like it's affecting me as a person. And during the match, all I kept doing was watching for the botch suplexes, which he didn't this time. He didn't botch them, but. Yeah, he made me dislike a guy that I actually thought is okay.
Yeah, he did, man. He did. When I was watching this match, yeah, that stuck in my head. I was looking, I was like, what is he gonna botch? He's gonna botch, and then you know, Sami Zayn ended up getting Bobby down, and this match, like I said, was going to be a quick squash match, and it was quick. Bobby went in there, took care of business. Dominated Sammy and walked out of there as the winner.
Yeah, you know? It was a simple match. I mean, they said Sami Zayn was actually banged up, like he might have been injured too. So that's why it was a really quick squash. Even though, let's be real, like even if he wasn't hurt, it was going to be a quick squash anyway. Because Sami Zayn to them is just, you know, he's just throwaway guys. Oh, just put him in against a big dude and he's going to get his ass whipped, and that's where Zayn now falls onto. But yeah, again, not surprised. It was Bobby the whole way, you know.
Yeah.
Sweatband and all.
Yep. Big sweatband. As McShaft calls him, the
Dominator, you know.
The Raisinette.
That's what it was.
It's a Raisinette.
Tell me why I'm sitting here thinking Milk Dud. It was Raisinette. So that's just not.
McShaft, he puts those things in your head, man. You're like, what? You're like, what the hell? Why am I thinking that?
Dude, I literally, as I'm sitting there watching this, and I hear Bobby Lashley's music, and like usually what I do when I hear Bobby Lashley's music, I do this and I go like this because that's what Bobby does. But then when I seen him, like when I locked eyes with him on the television, I hated him. And I was like, why do I hate you? And then I hear McShaft going, you know, Milk Dud, Raisinette, and I'm thinking like, oh yeah, you're a douche.
He does that, man.
Promo. You still can't. Like, hey, you can. I mean, don't get me wrong. You can pick me up and fling me to another state, but yeah, I ended up hating the man. It's fucked up. It's horrible.
The third match on the card, we come with the Intercontinental Championship, Elias versus Seth Rollins. I like how Elias gets out there and the crowd's behind him, and then just a switch, he has the crowd booing him, hating him. He's talking about how much Chicago sucked.
Yeah, it was perfect.
And he's like, you know what? You don't deserve a concert tonight. Bring my opponent out.
Yeah,
like laughing. Great. I loved it, man. I loved it.
Yeah, Elias is great. You know, it's really great to just see his promo work, the way he's able to work a crowd. It really, really just it works. It makes sense for his character.
Yeah.
And even though the crowd boos him, they love him. You know, because I love him. I love Elias.
I did.
And this match was
I know.
Such a good match.
It definitely was. I want to throw this in here. When he said they were a bunch of scumbags, the crowd started chanting, "We are scumbags."
Yeah, we are scumbags.
He kind of chuckled a little bit, like, "Oh my god." He didn't. It's like
you're idiots. That's what it comes down to. Just like, you're a bunch of fucking idiots. Like, you know, I would laugh too. I'd sit there and be smiling, like, "Damn, you guys are stupid."
Yeah, Definitely. It was a hell of a match, like you said. Rollins came out there, and Elias worked on the knee. That was the whole point. The selling point of the whole match was the leg. You know, coming off, it didn't stop him from high flying. He did a couple dives outside the ring. I liked it when he did that second dive out the ring, and Elias grabbed him, threw him into the ring post, and real quick scooped him up, threw him into the stairs, scooped him up, threw him in the ring, went in for the quick. And the announcers, you could tell, were getting like excited about it and stuff. And I think Michael Cole even botched his name and called him somebody else a couple of times, you know.
Mike Cole's an idiot.
Yeah, he is. It's like Vincent the Deer, you know. He's like, Rollins, Elias. He's like Michael Cole, just like forgetting.
That's vintage Elias over there. When is he vintage? That's the drifter. He's drifting.
I'm sure when Seth Rollins' music plays, and you know the part where it says "burn it down," you know, burn it down. Vince is probably in the back saying, "A bird went down where?"
Yeah, I can see him doing it. Who's burning over here? Somebody's gonna get fired. Like, who's burning? And Triple H is sitting there. It's part of the music, Vince. Go take a nap.
Yeah, no bird went down.
Nobody's burning anything down. This is PG rated.
Yeah.
Damn assholes. It's Austin.
It was me, Austin.
It wasn't me, Austin. It wasn't me. I'm sorry. That was the worst thing I ever had. When he did that, I was like, when he pulls it off, because you know this whole like, who's this guy, and then he pulls it off, and he's like, it was me, Austin. You're thinking like, why is he just saying Austin's name?
No.
He fucked up the union for this when he had the little union guys. That was me, Austin. Dude, that was your daughter.
I know.
Sick bastard.
Oh,
Vince is a sick man. Let's just be real. Vince is a sick.
Yeah,
he's burning it down again. This guy.
Yeah,
where's Roman Reigns?
Yeah, Roman can't burn, which we'll talk about here.
He boss. Everybody loves to ball. Who's that big guy? Big Cash. You're fired. Come here, asshole.
Big ass. As Big Jeff called him, big ass.
Carmella dumped you. Now you're fired.
Yeah.
Your friend hates you. I've ruined your life.
Yeah, it's a mess. But one thing that wasn't a mess was I expected Elias to win, and I believed you called it. You called it again, man. There you are. Seth Rollins retaining the Intercontinental Championship. And I do want to throw this out here. What the hell happened Monday, man, with him losing it? I mean, you know, it's like, what the hell? It's like he wrestles Dolph Ziggler, open challenge, confident, and he loses it. Now, he's going to challenge Dolph Ziggler next Monday.
He's going to lose again.
Yeah, he's going to have his rematch, and he's not going to retain it. Dolph's going to carry it for a while. I don't even want to ask what the hell is WWE creative thinking about at this point, but the fact is that at Money in the Bank, I think he had one of his greatest matches, and all his matches are great, but this one right here really stuck out because I really thought Elias was going to win the championship, and of course you called it that Seth Rollins was going to retain. So,
yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I was expecting maybe we would be able to see Elias and Rollins go again. Obviously, that's not going to happen since Dolph won the Intercontinental title, which I think that means a few things. That means either Rollins is going to be moving on to a different feud, and they're probably really utilizing Dolph. And Jen's taking a picture of me right now with these sunglasses on. So she's getting one of these right now. I think they're really doing the Shawn Michaels Diesel thing they want to do with Dolph and Drew. Yeah. So how did that start, actually? It started with Michaels winning the IC title.
Yes.
So maybe we'll get to the, eventually that maybe Dolph will find himself winning the heavyweight title again.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
you don't know, man. You don't know.
I don't know. Honestly, I have no idea why that happened. When I see it, because I didn't watch it. I saw on the website that I was on, I saw the pictures, and I said, wait, what? Like, why? You might as well just give it to Elias.
Yeah,
but then that means they have some plan.
Mm-hmm.
The plan, but we'll see what the plan is.
Yeah, they have some plan. They definitely do if they did that. Now we got SmackDown. We have the SmackDown Women's Championship match. We have Asuka versus the champion, SmackDown Women's Champion Carmella.
Mm-hmm.
Now, was it you or McShaft who called this one? Or did we all
I did say Carmella is going to retain.
Mm-hmm. You did say Carmella was going to retain. I believe that I said Asuka, and McShaft said Asuka was going to win the championship, which didn't happen. Did not happen. And I want to go on a rant here, but I want to hear your thoughts first before I go off into go all cornet on this. Okay.
Well, it wasn't a spectacular match.
Mm-hmm. It
wasn't a great match. It was okay for what it was. I do like the Ellsworth thing. Thought that was kind of cool. Gave me a little chuckle. But she needed to retain the title. It only made sense for her to keep that belt. She's a great heel as a champion. They're just wasting Asuka in the long run. Hopefully, eventually, she'll get the belt. I've been saying that about Nakamura, so we'll see what happens with that too. But in the long run, to me, it was a match that probably could have been done on SmackDown, but the right person won.
Yeah.
I'm ready to hear your rant, though.
I pretty much was pulling for Asuka to win, okay? There were some good spots where Carmella did get some offense in and defense when Asuka would come back. But everything was going so good. The flow of the match was going good and everything. Until we didn't know at the time it was James Ellsworth jumped up on the ring, okay? And Asuka's just looking like, what the hell? She turns back around. She does a move to Carmella. She comes back around. She goes back and looks at the person in the ring in her outfit. She turns around, gets chick kick in the face, falls down. 1, 2, 3. Carmella retains, and then it's revealed James Ellsworth. I was pissed off. For the fact of the matter is that the way they should have handled that was as soon as Ellsworth jumped up on the ring apron as Asuka should have been a badass, turned around and be like, bitch, who are you? And went after him. Carmella coming up, pulling a roll-up package pin with the tights. 1, 2, 3, dirty, bam, done. I would have been happy with that. But no, they dragged it out a little bit too long than what it was supposed to meant. And that pissed me off. Because she's sitting there, Asuka's like, looking like, what? It's like, are you looking like, you're looking like fucking Jason Voorhees looking at yourself in the mirror? Come on now.
They made her look stupid.
Yeah,
and Asuka's not stupid. So to make her sit there and be like, huh?
Yeah.
Who? That's me. Like,
yeah, that's me, but I'm here, and that's you. What are you? Is it the 6'8" Arnold Schwarzenegger? You know, I mean, come on.
But the crowd, when he took the mask off, the crowd went nuts.
Yeah, they loved it because Ellsworth's back. You know.
Yeah.
But the way they handle that, it shows the creative right there is stupid. You know, let's put James Ellsworth up on the ring, dressed like Asuka, and Asuka looks stunned, petrified. There, like. Someone's wearing my outfit, you know? It's like, when she meet autograph signing, someone comes up, you know, a kid dressed up like her, you know, she sits there, you know, just look and like,
oh my God, it's like, you have my mask.
Really? It's like, I got the same one, man.
They buy it out there $25 and you get an Oscar mask.
You know, I'm like, really? That pissed me off how that happened. It just showed the creative. But they're going to drag it out. They're going to build on it and stuff. You know, they got a plan. So we'll see how that develops, you know. I mean, we will say here in the next match we talk about, not the next one, but the next one after, why, there won't be no women's Money in the Bank backup for anything,
Yeah.
So the next match after this, we had, we did have the women's ladder match, did we not, after this one, right? Or was it so. Roman and Jinder?
Oh, God, yeah, I forgot about that one, too.
I believe it was the women's Money in the Bank ladder match had next.
Yeah.
So we had Ember Moon versus Charlotte Flair versus Alexa Bliss versus Becky Lynch versus Natalya versus Lana versus Naomi and Sasha Banks.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I gotta say is the women brought it.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Rusev needs to keep Lana away from a fucking ladder.
Yeah. She's so bad.
she tried. I gotta give her credit, but
yeah, she tried.
No. Daniel Bryan? No. I got the soundboard for that. Here we go.
No! No!
True. True.
Now, Rusev, this is for you, buddy. Keep your wife away from a fucking ladder.
Dude, seriously. Unless you want to do her on the ladder.
Yeah, that's...
By all means, do her on the ladder, but... Yeah.
But that would be... Then that would become Extreme Rules, wouldn't it?
Ooh. It would. It would be an Extreme Rules match.
Yeah. Yes.
Man up.
He would man up on that.
Yes, I would. Because hopefully she don't, me in the head. But Lana in the Money in the Bank ladder match was no
jackpot.
It wasn't. It was a failure. It was a but more of a
yeah, it was a big turd.
Yeah, it was. Now the crowd hated Natalya. Every time she climbed up that ladder, she tried to get the briefcase. They were booing the hell out of her, man.
They were hard too. Like they did not want her getting that belt.
No, I was surprised that Naomi was getting a big pop. To win it.
I mean, people like Naomi. She is really talented. She has a great ass, but she's really, really talented. I don't know. Like, to me, the match, they brought it. It was really entertaining. There were some good spots too, and I was happy with the end result.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was too. It was totally different from what I picked and what you picked.
Yeah, I picked Ember Moon.
Yes, you picked Ember Moon, and Becky Lynch even got a big pop, even climbing up the ladder. They wanted her to win. And when it came down to it, I picked Charlotte Flair, which didn't happen. But there at the very end, of course, Miss Little Bliss, Alexa Bliss, took the briefcase for the win. Now, what do you think about that one spot when I believe it was I forgot who had the ladder on both sides and were running with it? Naomi came out of nowhere and jumped off of it.
Oh man, like I'm saying, she's so talented, and the other really great thing is because she's married to an Uso, so it's even better to she learns more. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
she's good for those type of matches. Ember Moon fucking did a great spot too, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember exactly which one it was, but I remember watching and saying just this is why she's gonna be really talented. She's eventually she isn't going to get the belt yet, but eventually she's going to get that belt because she is extreme. That's why when I met her and I spoke to her, I told her, I was like, you are amazing in the ring. It is great.
Mm-hmm. She I loved it when her and Naomi hooked up and did some stuff, man. I thought that was really great. I loved that.
Black Power, that's what they were trying to do.
Yeah, that was great. I love that. Excuse me. I love the fact that they all climbed up the ladder at one point and they were pulling each other down, climbing on top of each other, pulling each other down, showing at least they had to show that part where they were desperate. They wanted that. But of course, one woman came out on top, which was Alexa Bliss. She won the Money in the Bank briefcase. At first, I'm like, why are they giving it to her? Why? But we find out later on why she won it. You know,
Indeed, we do.
She definitely did win it. After this match, Alexa Bliss winning the women's briefcase. We have McShaft, I gotta say that, McShaft's favorite wrestler, Roman Reigns, going up against the modern-day Maharaja, Jinder Mahal. I want to start this off that Chicago was not behind this. I got on Twitter at the time, and I think I sent it to everybody, that a lot of people were saying that they were chanting, boring, this match sucks, you both suck, and chanting CM Punk and everything you could think of, But, of course, I did pay half-ass attention to this match because I was on and off Twitter there, and I was talking to my wife. I was feeding my daughter. I was doing all this. By the time I sat back down, I seen Roman Reigns do 2 of his 5 moves, which was the Superman punch and the spear and a 1-2-3, and he won the match.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on this train wreck?
Well, we had a shithole of a match with shithole wrestlers. That's it. There was a big fall. Nobody cared.
Nothing more.
I didn't care. I forgot what I did too. I know.
Yeah.
I might have been on my phone too.
Yeah, bathroom break, man. And I know on the prediction show you wore the Maharaja's, Jinder Mahal shirt though, but it's just Jinder got out there and tried, and it's just they weren't into him. It's just this town was not buying him. No. No, not at all. No. And they weren't buying Roman either. Because the thing is, it's you kind of knew what was going to happen. I mean, I picked the modern-day Maharaja. But in the long run, let's be real. We all knew Roman was pulling this out. Yeah, he definitely was. Then, after this, we had the WWE title match. AJ Styles defending the WWE Championship against Shinsuke Nakamura in the last man standing match. Wow. I was impressed more with this match than the opening match. It was actually the opening match, and this match was on the same level for me. This was great. The story, you could tell this was a brawl, man. Mm-hmm. It was. Mm-hmm. It was. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, it's about time we got the match that we've been asking for from these two. They both put on a great match. This was a very, very good match. They had so much to do with it. I love just the fact Nakamura kicked his ass. In real talk, AJ was getting his moves in, but Nakamura had that match pretty much held on to his own. And he's such a good heel, the way he utilizes it. And I'm not going to lie, though. The one part I remember we were watching, it was me, Jen, and Jen's mother. They came to visit. So we're watching this. So watching it, and when he goes, come on. When AJ boots him in his nuts, wow. I'm sitting there we all know wrestling and everything, and a smack to the fucking side. But, woo, it hurt me. I'm upset the way it ended in the long run because obviously I didn't think AJ needed the title as much as they still keep it from. It makes sense now because he's on the cover of the WWE 2K19 that he kept it. I don't know. We obviously know where it's going. AJ's going off on his own to do a different feud, and Nakamura is going to go fight Jeff Hardy, which is good because he has a chance at now winning the U.S. title, which he most likely will. That's probably where it's going to end when he gets this belt.
Right.
I just wanted him to win. I'm really waiting for it. And you can ask Jen too. Every time there's a Nakamura match and it's for the title, you see me when I watch it. I'm literally sitting there like this. I'm so zoned in because I want him to win. I want to get excited. I remember when he fought. When it was the Royal Rumble, when he threw Roman out, and I'm sitting there and I'm watching it, and I'm just dead stared on the TV. But when he fucking tossed him out, all you see me go is, Yeah, like, you become a fan again. Like, you really root for somebody. And it was a good job with the storytelling. It's a great match that they put on, but in my opinion, the wrong person won. It should have been Shinsuke in the long run to take that victory.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But they have their own ways they want to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're definitely right about that, man. I mean, yeah, they should have. It should have been Shinsuke though. But of course, WWE creative writers know what they have a plan, and Vince knows that plan. But I guess we'll find out at Extreme Rules if Rusev. It was on this past Tuesday on SmackDown. They did a gauntlet match.
Yeah.
Where Rusev won after beating The Miz, Daniel Bryan,
Big
E, and who else?
Is that it?
Yeah.
Was it 4 of them?
Yeah, the 4 of them did a gauntlet match.
Oh, Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe, yeah. And Rusev is getting his first title shot, which is great. I love that. And I can't wait to see if, what's to come of that. And speaking of AJ Styles, like you just said, yeah, he's on the front cover of 2K19, man. I mean, how can you go wrong with that?
It's great. It's great to see him. I mean, he deserves it, 100%. But it makes sense why he kept the title in that standpoint. He is going to be released as a cover art guy, so they're like, obviously, this guy needs to still be the champ in that situation. But can we also mention that when Nakamura was asked about the match and that he ended up losing, his response was, "I did not lose because the ref didn't count in Japanese." And that is the greatest thing I've ever heard, because as we know, he did not speak English. His heel work is phenomenal.
Jeez. Are you kidding me, man? It's just it's crazy. That's crazy.
He said that when he was asked about losing, he was like, "I didn't lose. The ref didn't count in Japanese." And you're absolutely right. He knows speak English, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
He didn't understand the 10. He didn't know. He didn't know it.
Yeah, definitely. Well, on to the after this match, we had, what did we have after this?
Was it Ronda?
Yes. We had the Raw Women's title match. We had Ronda Rousey versus Nia Jax. Twitter blew up over this, and in a positive way. I was happy about this because even watching it, I said to my wife, because we were watching it, I told Amanda, I said, dude, Ronda right now is selling so good. She sold so good, man. She made Nia look dominant. She came in and just dominated Ronda. She threw her out. Even at one point, Ronda stumbled against the ropes and out of the ring. That's how bad it was, because she took her to the limit. Yeah. But Ronda ended up with some momentum, and when she did that, she ended up coming out strong, and she even got on top of the damn turnbuckle, and it's like, what is she doing? And she executed a crossbody perfectly. Yeah. I was surprised. I'm like, damn. But I'll tell you what move that surprised me the most, I mean, of course, Nia gave her a little bit of help, was that freaking judo lift into the armbar. Yeah. What'd you think about that, man?
The match, honestly, it was okay for what it was. The story doesn't make sense. It was like thrown together, obviously, with the end result. It was okay.
Yeah.
Even the cash in, to me, it was okay. Like, I guess maybe WWE might have realized that they fucked up. They were just like, wait a minute. Nia Jax was against bullying. Now she's bullying.
Yes.
And they're like, no, we might have fucked up here. Okay, I have an idea. Give Alexa Bliss the briefcase, then have her cash it in on her, so we can bring Nia back to being a face again. And you're just like, you're idiots.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, they definitely screwed up though. But one thing for sure was the outcome on Monday Night Raw with the opening segment with Alexa Bliss all happy with the belt and everything, and then all of a sudden Ronda comes out and she basically was being held back by Kurt, and then when Alexa said she was just some overrated superstar, overrated, hyped, or whatever, how she worded it, Ronda snapped and just went after her. She basically beat her down with the briefcase, and then beat Kurt Angle down with the damn briefcase, and then security comes in, referees. She kicked that one perfectly in the stomach, beat them down. Then she went over, picked up Alexa Bliss, put her ass through the table, talked trash, and walked out. I was like, perfect, man.
Yeah.
Freaking
that's what Ronda should do.
Fucking perfect, you know? And I think they're going to be building that story because it's too soon for her to get the title right now. It's too soon for Ronda Rousey to get it because they got to build for it, you know?
Yeah.
I'd say by the sometime next year or at the end of this year. If they do it at the end of this year, I wouldn't be too surprised. But if they carry on into like Mania, if she wins the Raw women's title, I would not be surprised. They're gonna build it for a while, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they definitely are, because I think creative, like you said, Nia got backed in the corner. What are we gonna do? She's a bully now. She's anti-bully, but she's bully.
Yeah,
okay,
it's so stupid.
Yeah, put her in a match with Ronda Rousey, and then we need to get the belt off of her, but we don't want Ronda to win. Ronda cannot win, because if she wins, then that's too soon. It's going to piss all the other boys off in the back,
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, let's Alexa cash in. 90 minutes later she cashes in. And she wins. So there goes that. There goes any backup plan. If they paint herself in the corner again, they're just gonna have to take their cake and eat it.
Yeah. That's why with those, with the Money in the Bank, it leaves a safe back. Where it's like, all right, I could do what I need to do, and then if they're like, oh, we fucked up, cash in, and then, but now it's more, she cashed in, so figure it out.
Yeah, definitely. Now we got the last match of the night, which is the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. We had Braun Strowman, Finn Balor, The Miz, Rusev, Kevin Owens, Bobby Roode, and what member of the New Day, and Samoa Joe. Mm-hmm. I love the fact when New Day came out who they teased, because we thought who'd you pick again?
Big E.
Big E. Okay, I picked Big E, and then McShaft picked what? Kofi. McShaft called this one because at first you thought Big E was going, but you're like, no. And then Xavier is like, oh, okay, they're gonna mix it up, Xavier. And then it's like, no. Then they put Kofi out there. The crowd Chicago loved it, because Kofi, has he not pulled out some great moments in Money in the Bank ladder matches?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was Michael Cole said, well, Corey, Kofi Kingston has been in about 6 of these things. And then Corey Graves was like, yeah, and he hasn't won one.
Yeah. It's true. He still hasn't won one.
He's still just like Jericho. Jericho has been in a few of them. He created Money in the Bank, and he's never won it.
Never won it.
He never has won it.
Never. When he was climbing the ladder at one point, the crowd was like, yeah, because the whole New Day would have been Money in the Bank, and it would have been like, oh, this is good. This is going to be good.
Yeah.
But obviously, gonna do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they couldn't. It would have been a good story. It's like, which member of New Day is going to cash in? You know?
Exactly. Who cashes in?
Yeah, who cashed it in? That would have been a great story, though, but they didn't go that route. I like to say Braun Strowman was dominant in Kevin Owens' plan. I love the interaction between Kevin Owens and Braun because Kevin is trying to get everybody. I love the beginning of the match. Everyone teamed up and tried to take out Braun early.
It made sense.
Take out the biggest guy. I love the fact that when they got down by the ramp and everyone grabbed a ladder and started hitting Braun.
And then they threw the ladders on top of him. And The Miz, of course, being The Miz, a smart man, runs back to the ring to try to climb up. And Joe is the one that caught him. Joe's like, oh, fuck, no. Like, I gotta get back there.
It was entertaining at the same time.
It was very entertaining. This match was so much fun. This was a fun, funny, entertaining match. I loved it. I thought it was so great. Great spots.
It was a great spot, especially when Braun ran through and broke the ladder in half. The Miz sitting there just looking at him and stuff. I have to throw this out there. Me and my wife were watching it, and as soon as that spot happened and when he broke through the ladder, the Miz's look on his face. Sorry, Chris. My wife looked over and said, "Don't the Miz look like Chris? That looks like Chris Carnage." I said, "Oh my God, yeah, it does."
Oh, that's great.
We were like, "Hey, it's Chris. What's he doing in the Money in the Bank Balor match?" Oh, that's the Miz.
When he did that, see, I remember I'm watching it, and I forgot it was Rude and somebody else holding it. It might have been Balor. And when he runs through it, I just started laughing my ass off. And Jen's looking at me. She's like, "What happened?" She wasn't paying attention. She's like, "What happened?" I was like, "Braun just ran through a ladder." She's like, "What?" And I'm like, "Braun Strowman just ran through a ladder." And she's like, "Really?" And I had to rewind it. And she's seen when he runs through it. And she's just like, "Whoa." Like, that was I'm like, that's amazing. And the Miz's face was all of our faces. Like,
Yes.
did he just run through a fucking ladder?
What the fuck just happened?
It was at that moment when I was like, and there's Mr. Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
When he ran through a fucking ladder, he better win the fucking match.
Yeah. Yeah. It was good, man. There was a lot of good spots, a lot of people, especially Kevin Owens, man. I loved it when Braun climbed up the ladder and he basically told him, he said, "You were going to get these hands," and just was like,
He's like, I'm sorry. He's like, no, it's okay. I'm sorry. Braun, don't do this. Braun. Dead.
Done.
You need a KO.
Yes, KO. I used to have that somewhere, man.
What is it? The Street Fighter one. After he wins, KO.
Yeah.
It makes sense for him too, since he is KO. So, like, yeah, once he fell off that ladder, I was like, well, he's done. So,
Yeah.
he's out of the match.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
You never seen him again.
No, you never did.
He died.
You never did. And who'd you call the win this one?
I said Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe. I said The Miz, and McShaft said, who'd he say? Big E? Or did he say
he might have.
Bobby Roode?
Oh, he called Rude, yeah.
Okay, we were all wrong. We were all wrong on this one, man.
Obvious choice, that's why.
Yeah.
We didn't go see when we were watching the match, and me and Jenna watching the match, and she was asking, like, who do you think's gonna win? And she goes, she picked Braun Strowman. She's like, Braun Strowman's gonna win. And I was like, it's too obvious that it's Braun because it's real Braun.
Yeah.
And then when he won, I was like, okay.
Yeah. Basically, it's like for us, we didn't get it right. So.
Yeah, but it was like acceptable, you know, when he won to the point.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like when he won, I didn't like jump up and down. Like I watched it, I went, okay, like I'm happy because he's gonna win the title finally. It's well deserved, and they're gonna do it at the perfect place. They're gonna do it at the perfect time because when Roman Reigns beats Brock Lesnar in Brooklyn, and the crowd is gonna bitch, and you know New York's gonna say fuck you, blah blah blah. You're gonna hear roar, and the crowd is going to lose their fucking mind. There's going to be jizz all over the floor.
Yeah. Well, it's already came out that the main event for SummerSlam is going to be Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. Okay,
Yeah.
They already planned that. Okay, the way I see it is because Lesnar is dropping the Universal title to Reigns because his contract is over on that day. He's done with WWE. He's dropping the title. Reigns is going to do like what happened with Sheamus cashed in. He's going to hold that title, Universal title. He's going to be like, oh my God, I want it. All of a sudden, and he comes in. He's all, and Braun's going to come in. Oklahoma slam, running slam, boom, 1, 2, 3. There you go. There.
Send the crowd home happy. You will send the Brooklyn crowd home so happy.
But here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. Braun wins the Universal title at SummerSlam. Now he's going to hold that title all the way up till WrestleMania 35.
Yeah.
Until Roman Reigns goes after him again and wins the championship.
Yeah.
It's already talked about last year. Last year, Vince already had it in his mind like he did this year. I want Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman, and I want, Universal title match. So that's what they're going to be doing. That's what they're going to be doing. But please to God, I'm saying, please God, don't let Roman win the Royal Rumble. We don't need a riot. We don't need an arena burnt down. Okay? So let him win it some other stupid way that creative thinks of, and then just do it like that. But no Royal Rumble. No.
You make a SmackDown guy win the Rumble.
Again. Yes, Orton won it last year, so.
Well, no, Nakamura won it last year.
Yeah, I'm thinking the year before.
Before.
Thank you. This has been affecting me
Natty
a little
Ice.
bit. Yes. It's like, slits my liquor. You only afford what you get.
It hits me in a good spot.
Yes. Hits me in a good spot right here.
And that's how you know you're having a good time. Natty Ice. Always good for bathroom breaks.
Yes. All in all, man, Money in the Bank pay-per-view on a scale 1 to 5, what would you rate it?
I'd give it a 4.
Give it a 4.
Yeah, I'd give it a 4, but a low 4. It's still not above NXT, but I guess in that sense, I'd give it like a 3.9. It was entertaining. For a long time, their pay-per-views have not been entertaining, and this one I sat through and I enjoyed. I laughed, I cried, and I cheered. And to me, you did your job. It wasn't the best pay-per-view. If Nakamura would have won, I would give it a 5. But in the long run, it was very entertaining. And that's what it should be. It should just be entertaining. It's entertainment.
Right. Yeah, I'm going to have to give it... I'm going to have to agree with you on this one, man. I'm going to have to give it a 4. Because for the fact that they screwed up the Asuka match. I'm going to give it a 5 at the most. Or actually, no. Actually, the lowest... Actually, I'm going to give it a 3. Okay? I would give it a 4 if they didn't screw up the Asuka spot like I went all Cornette on earlier. But, yeah, I'm giving it a 3. Okay? I am.
Fair.
I'm giving it a 3. Average. Nothing more, nothing less I expected. So, there you go. Tommy, I want to thank you for jumping back on here with me on Notice. I mean, I hit you up and I told you what was going on. I'm like, McShaft, he can't make it to do the podcast with me this week. We were going to talk about E3 and stuff. We had all this stuff lined up for talking about E3, but I'm going to give my thoughts and stuff about E3 on another episode in the future, because I got a lot to say about E3 good and a lot bad about it. But that's for a different podcast. Okay. I want to thank you for coming on and filling in. And I mean, with talking about these pay-per-views and are looking like, yeah, I called that. Damn, it's like I called that, but it didn't happen. So it turned out great, man. It did.
Yeah,
it's definitely turned out great.
A lot of fun as always. And like I told you, and for the listeners out there, when we keep doing our prediction videos, eventually we're gonna do something and edit more into it, make it a little more exciting too. We're gonna up the ante with it. Eventually, there's gonna be bets going on. Me and McShaft, man, I want a piece of the shaft bar. Him and his chocolate peanut man, and milk dud, whatever, raisinette. There we go. I got movies. The movies. When you go to the movies, you got to get your raisinettes. They have dark chocolate now, so it definitely fits Bobby Lashley. But I mean, I could talk wrestling all day, and it's great to watch two very good pay-per-views, and finally be able to enjoy wrestling again, because it's not been that great.
Yes.
So it's nice to see finally them actually trying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. It definitely is. Now, I want to ask you, I'm going to go ahead and then I'm going to mention a couple announcements. What's coming up? You mentioned a little bit on the beginning of the program about second rounds. What's happening with second rounds again? We got we're working on our next Who You Got challenge, getting ready for MegaCon Tampa Bay, which we decided 2 days ago we were going to go. So we had to actually get into a rush mode, and yesterday we did the first half of the draft. Each person selected 8 characters. We still have 8 more to go, which we'll probably do in the next few days. We're just trying to give everybody a little rest. And next week, actually, is going to be Big Money Eddie's conference, because we're starting off right off the bat. It's got to be a conference a month. So we're starting Big Money, then Ashley, then me, then Uncanny Mike, which we'll do in September. And I'm actually going to be on David's show on Friday. Yes.
We talk some wrestling. I don't know what else we're going to talk about, but me and Dee were talking yesterday, and we said he just throws out anything. So I'm pretty much going to sit there and be like, bro, ask me any question you want. We can talk about David Arquette, man. You want to talk about David Arquette winning the championship, or how a diamond upside down is a pussy. We know this, okay? That should be fun. I'm always down to talk. Like I said, I'm always down to talk wrestling. So it'd be great to be able to get on that. I got to still figure out what else is going on with us. I know we got press passes to go to Daytona in November, I think. So we'll definitely be down there again.
Yes.
For Daytona Beach Comic-Con Part 2, I guess it is.
Yes.
We're working on a few other stuff. YouTube, we're starting to think about getting some more content out there. Big Money actually came over today to talk to me about a few ideas that he has. We're figuring that out. And I know that Mr. Everett Lee himself will be with the New York guys on Sunday.
Yes, finally. Because I talked about this, because after we did the episode with you and Ashley and Eddie, I said to you, I messaged you and I talked to you and I said, one thing is for sure. I said, I got Florida. I have to have New York, man, because I was watching New York and everything they're doing and everything up there, and just they're having a hell of a time with talking about everything that I like, and everyone that tunes in and watches them and downloads the Second Rounds podcast, just here in Florida, and then of course New York, it's just like I had to have them, man. I definitely had to have them. And I talked with Alex, and I think we're going to end up doing something like almost similar, but a little bit different from what I did with you guys on when we're going to throw a couple top 5s out there, man. Yeah. But you're going to have to tune in, and you're going to have to see what the top 5s are, man.
Good. I mean, I'm going to do, it's a 100%. I have to tune in to check my guys out, make sure that they're actually doing a good job. And I will warn you, Mr. Malave is very loud. He is very obnoxious. And Alex is going to dance. Lex is probably going to spit a few bars because he's going to rap a little bit. So that'll be interesting to see. But I'm excited. I'm excited to see where it's going to go. Definitely make sure to let Alex gloat on that Who You Got challenge.
Uh-huh. Well, of course, man.
He's gonna. I'm telling you, he's gonna. This is how it's gonna start. I can almost guarantee. You can quote me here. When you guys go live, he's gonna have the belt on. He's gonna have the Black Panther mask on, and then it's just gonna go. And he's gonna be like, "We're looking for Wakanda." And then he's gonna be like, back to the champion 3 times, and then Malave is gonna say, "Oh, fuck you, man," and Lex is gonna be like, "Yeah, these guys are funny, man," and that's how it's gonna start. I just did your beginning of the episode right now. Watch them all 3 show up in suits now. It'll be hilarious.
Here's Johnny.
Here's Johnny.
I had to throw that out there. Yeah, it's gonna be great, man, because having second rounds New York edition on the Everett Lee Show is gonna be great. We're gonna throw a couple of top 5s out there. Of course, I want to know about Eternal Con, and I talked to Alex, and he told me about one former WWE champion, or not champion, one former WWE wrestler who basically blew them off. Mm-hmm. I was like, really? I was like, it's true then, how this person carries themselves. Yeah. You know, if it was me, I would have probably been like, fuck off. You know, that pissed me off when he told me that. I was like, really? I was like, what an ass. I would never want to meet this person. But I will probably mention that, and I will probably, definitely mention about Eternal Con. I want to hear about Alex.
How about the person that they did interview? You've seen the picture.
Yes.
And even the video. How awesome was that?
That was freaking awesome though.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. When I saw the video, I was like, I gotta top that now.
Yeah, I know. You had Ember Moon on. You had Ember Moon on.
Ember Moon.
I know. Yeah. I was informed that they had to get permission before they can talk with you, which I didn't know. Mm-hmm. Alex told me. I was like, really? I didn't know that, man. He's like, didn't Tommy tell you? I said he might have or he might have not. I can't remember, but I was like, wow, you know.
Yep. You had to get permission. You need permission from them in order to talk to them.
Yeah.
Like legit, they have to check to make sure you're actually legit and you're not just some weirdo that's sitting there with a camera that wants to sit there and be like, so do you like to party? Like, you know, it's like, because you got weirdos in this world, let's be real.
Yeah, you definitely do. You definitely do, man. You definitely do got your case of weirdos. But I'm definitely you're gonna be busy on tomorrow night, Friday night. You're gonna be busy with on David C. Russell's Deathmatch Russell podcast, which is awesome. Then Saturday night will be the premiere of the Deleted Wrestling podcast, brought to you by Podcast City Network. Man, there's shows such as the Everett Lee Show, Chris Carnage Show, Second Rounds New York and Florida edition, and Super Radio Brothers Imaginarium with Scott and Todd, and much, much more. Head over to podcastcity.net. Hit them up on Facebook, Podcast City Network on Facebook, facebook.com/Podcast City Network, and on Twitter. Send a tweet out, podcastcity.net, and you can check out all the show's contents on the following: on iTunes, Libsyn, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Podbeam. The Deleted Wrestling podcast, Saturday night at 9 p.m. Episode 1 will be the Dragon, the Nature Boy versus the Dragon. Me and David C. Russell and Robin Nilsson will be talking about one of the greatest rivalries in professional wrestling. We'll be talking about the 3 matches between the Nature Boy, Ric Flair, and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. So tune in, and it will be live on the Podcast City Network Facebook page at 9 p.m. Saturday night. And that's it, man, for this podcast. I want to thank you for coming on, man, as always. And I can't wait for next month for Extreme Rules to have you on for the next prediction show.
Ready for it. I'm ready to get extreme.
Extreme.
But then I'll be really ready for Brooklyn.
Yes, SummerSlam. We do that too, man.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited for that one. That one, we're going to bring it back home.
Hell yeah. Everett Lee signing off. Have a good night and good week. And we'll see you again next week for the Everett Lee Show podcast.